Hello, this is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002. This is the Alley Viper. It's a 2021 release, mostly widely available in 2022. Now, I've done a short video on this Alley Viper before, so I've reviewed it very quickly. But this is the full review, and after almost over a year, I'm finally taking out all of my Alley Vipers out of their boxes. Only one of them was displayed because I was moving and so on. I've decided to show them all together. So this is the Alley Viper, a favorite of mine as a kid. The packaging on the Alley Viper is before they went to windowless boxes, and there's distinct Art Deco-like art about the Alley Vipers. You're meant to have several of them, just like zebras, Alley Vipers hide in plain sight, mix and match with one another. You don't know where one begins, where the other ends. So they're meant to disturb people, confuse them a lot. In nature, it would be against predator. Here, it would be against the public and their enemies trying to take them down or something. Now, the Alley Viper is equivalent of a SWAT team, except they work for Cobra. Their equivalent in the G.I. Joe team would be either Big Ben or Shockwave. They were featured originally in Operation Dragonfly in the cartoon. There was only one Alley Viper. This is probably why many people liked him or liked the figure in general, because it was a unique character, even though he's part of the Viper squad. In the comics, we also saw the Alley Vipers, and we've seen them ever since. They're one of the favorite Cobra Viper type of troops. Technically, they're supposed to be better trained than most other Cobra troops, and they're very original. Now, the controversy with the Alley Vipers has always been their colors, orange and blue. Some people dislike that. I think it just works. Let's look at them further. The Alley Viper is an original sculpt. They come with a lot of gear. They come with this turning shield, and there's a viewport here where when they hide behind the shield, they can still see what's happening over there. That's a cool feature. As you can see, the shield rotates. Now, in all the cases here, I have installed the shield on the Alley Viper already. What I've done is that I had to heat up the arms. Just remove this backpack for now, it gets in the way. Pull the hand off the wrist socket. Warmed up both the shield and the forearm. Then inserted the shield inside here. You can pull it all the way back. It's not pulled to the same extent with each of the figures, but once it's in, it's in. And then you can put your gun back here. So you can rotate that shield. It's super cool. This is a rifle machine gun, and this is a submachine gun, both of which you can remove the ammo from and put it back. It snaps back easily. Each of them comes with two knives that you can remove. One is here. The other one is on the forearm. They're not painted, they're basic black. The face shield allows them to look in front of them even when down, but when up reveals the Alley Viper. You probably have to warm up or snap a bit the neck if you want the head to move separately, but once it's moved, when it's snapped properly, you can see that there's generous motion with the head and the neck, giving you a lot of options for that. There is overgear that prevents you from bending the ab crunch on the figure. Cost of having something like that. They come with one of those cheap handgun. They look like the first version of Classified. Fits in the holster, obviously. The figure can be very stiff. This one was not warm, the other one were, but they're still very stiff. Like every G.I. Joe classified figure, they do have the full split and the drop down hip feature, which I dislike a lot. They're not pinless articulation, but they do have double knee articulation. Shin guards, curls, swivels, and obviously very generous pivots and ankle bend articulation. Now this one, like I said, wasn't warmed up, so probably should use another one if I want to show you how you bend those ankles. You can do the hula hoop with them, but be careful, warm them first, not to break them, and you can twist the waist around. There's even a cool snap. Actually, that's not a good sound usually, but it feels like very loose here. The weight of the shield can bear down easily on the arm. You see, it's very loose. I don't like that very much. Depending on which figure you have, some of them are a bit stronger in the elbow. The elbow technically should be a 90 degrees. It depends on which one. Some of them do reach a 90, some of them don't. This one has more difficulty on this arm, but on this one does reach the 90 degree. There's also swivels at the bicep, of course. This piece here that you see is an extra piece on the arms. So you can remove this, I believe. It's an overlay. In the back, you can see the Alley Viper's bodysuit, of course. Now for the backpack. For each of them, I haven't put it on, but there is a grapple hook, just like the old figure from when we were kids. You can remove the hook, and if you're creative, you could probably put a rope in there. So when they eject the hook, you could have a rope that goes somewhere so the Alley Viper can climb walls and so on. You could either put it this way, but if you put it this way, as you put it on the backpack, it will take more space and be less optimal. So I prefer to twist them like this, even though in reality they would probably be horizontal as opposed to vertical. The other guns do not fit on this peg here, unfortunately. It would have been fun if some of them would have fit in there, so you could have stored them here too, but they don't. Now the backpack does not stay on easily. It's one of those backpacks that stays at an angle, very high angle here. So if you press any other way, it's gonna fall off easily. This is the articulation for the Alley Viper, obviously. The Alley Viper, like I mentioned before, is a figure I really enjoy. Many people dislike the current color scheme of the Alley Viper, but that's what it is. It's a classic figure. Sometimes people want something extremely realistic as opposed to something that has play value and so on. But that's the Alley Viper for you. I did mention that I would show the articulation here when they're warmed up a bit more. So this is what you get. You can see I didn't get this from that one because I didn't warm it up. What's interesting is that this specific Alley Viper, the one I've been reviewing principally, this one has been open for over a year out of its package, actually almost 2 years now. It feels very stiff compared to the other guys who were just removed from their package today. And the shoulder really can't bear the weight of the shield anymore. Those guys don't have this problem. They're fresh out of the box, so they're very sturdy for that. Very good figure, cool figure. Let's do a little bit size comparison here. Obviously, I took first version of Firefly. The new one, as of this writing, has not been released. So the Alley Viper is a bit taller than Firefly, not by much. This is a Cobra Officer. The Cobra Officer feels a bit taller, also, or about the same size as an Alley Viper from this angle. So the Alley Vipers are not the biggest of the Cobra troops. They're a bit average, I would say. Let's compare next to Serpentor. Obviously, Serpentor towers everybody. Let's use Crimson Twin. About the same size as a Crimson Twin. And so on. Let's check out with a bat. Now the bats I've got next to here are the Arctic bat, so not the first version of the bat. The bat always towered over the Alley Vipers, so this continues here. Not a surprise, obviously. And let's get some Joes in here. Mr. Survival. Those two will probably never meet, since Outback is in a wild, while the Alley Vipers are in the city, usually. So this is the Alley Viper for you. Another great figure from Hasbro, a personal favorite of mine since I was a kid. They're gonna remake this version into a Crimson Alley Viper. It was not named the Crimson Alley Viper in the older version when it was red and black, but now they decided to call it the Crimson Alley Viper. It's still the same model, the same color scheme as the older figure that was released earlier in, I believe, for one of the G.I. Joe movies, part of the figures. It was an early Alley Viper set. So like and subscribe. This was the Alley Viper, a personal favorite of mine. This is Hervé from Comic Book Bin, filling you in since 2002.